All right, here we are. It is Thursday, the 2nd of March, the year 2017. Right. Okay, so yesterday we did a little YouTube vlog, or we'll call it a vlog. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I'm going to call it a daily segment or a segment or whatever. And we talked about this thing that we're about to start. And today we're going to discuss it in a little bit more detail and kind of give you the first taste of what it's going to be like. So we're going to call this right now Geek Bod to Beach Bod. All right. I need to get in shape. And as a gamer, as someone who works in an office during the day, a lot of sedentary life. I sit on my ass. And a lot of people out there, unfortunately, because of the life that we live, we sit on our ass. We go to work, we sit. We come home, we game, we watch TV, we sit. And that's not good. It's not good. So we're leaving here. We're actually heading to the office right now, not to the gym. The gym starts tomorrow. It starts tomorrow. So this one's going to be a little extended from what we normally get because the gym is closer than my office. So what is this thing that Davram has started or is going to start? Well, Geek Bod to Beach Bod is real simple. It's going to be a journey. It's going to be a journey that all my followers, subscribers, fans, friends, family can follow along. We're going to pull back the curtain and you're going to follow along as I work to get myself healthy. Now, what do you get out of this? Well, what you're going to get out of this is you're going to see someone who is not healthy, who has not been healthy for, most of my life. I could probably say, going back to my earliest memories of like kindergarten stuff, I've always been a big kid. I haven't eaten right. I hated exercise. And in general, the concept of physical activity was, in my mind, pointless. It was a waste of time. Now, some people out there would say, well, video gaming is a waste of time. Yeah, you're right. But for me, the sense of accomplishment of getting achievements, of beating raid bosses, of, beating someone to a pulp in StarCraft or Warcraft 3, that was a sense of accomplishment that I could hang my hat on. I get this little badge that pops up and says, congratulations, you're awesome. Or congratulations, you suck. For me, life at the gym, and for me, life in physical activity, I never got those little achievement badges that popped up. Now, for some people, they're like, oh, that's silly. You get to see the change in your body. You get to feel better, etc., etc. Well, you know what? I don't get to see a little pop-up on my screen that says good job or achievement unlocked, all right? So for me, it didn't work. Well, let's start at the very beginning, shall we? I was huge. So probably about, I would say 5, maybe 6 years ago, I was working from home. I worked for Best Buy and for Geek Squad, and I worked out of my house. I worked for the corporate offices, but I worked out of my house because, fuck if I'm going to move to Minnesota. That place is colder than where I live right now. All the time. No, it's not going to happen. So I worked out of my house, and with that being said, when you work from home, when you work in an office situation, you sit on your ass all the time. Well, this was no different here, and actually kind of worse, because I worked from home on a computer for my normal 8 to 10 hour shifts, pending overtime. And then what would I do? I would close down all my applications, and I'd open up video games, and I'd sit on my ass longer. Well, what's going to happen? Well, you're going to gain weight, and you're going to gain a lot of it because you're not doing anything. And I lived at the time in kind of a shitty townhouse. It wasn't bad, but it was kind of a shitty townhouse. And it had 2 flights of stairs, one up to the main floor, one up to the bedroom floor. And I worked in the basement. So that means at least twice a day I would have to walk downstairs and I would have to walk back upstairs. I would usually get all of my food and unhealthy beverages, sodas and stuff like that on my way downstairs. put them in a bag, whatever, walk downstairs. And I wouldn't leave the downstairs. I had a bathroom down there, refrigerator, didn't have to, right? Everything was already there within an arm's reach of where I was. No getting up, no physical activity. And my ass got to well around / over probably at some point 500 pounds. Now that's really not healthy. Right? I'm a tall guy. I'm like 6'3", 6'4". But it doesn't matter. That's super, super unhealthy. So at one point, I don't even know when, I don't know when the day happened, but I kind of sat there in my chair and I'm like, you know what? I just walked upstairs to get a soda and I can't breathe. I'm out of breath. That was a lot of work to walk upstairs. And that's a daily struggle for a lot of people. Not only people who maybe have a physical impairment, but in general, people who are bigger or overweight or have some sort of medical condition. So I started simple. And everyone can do something simple. Now, maybe you can't do what I did because of medical issues or whatever, but you can do something that involves some sort of physical activity throughout the day. So what I started to do push-ups on my knees, because God forbid my entire body would collapse if I tried to do regular push-ups. I did sit-ups. Yeah, those I got a couple inches off the ground because there was a massive amount of fat in my way. And I just started to do that. I would do little stair climbs where I'd go up 2 steps and then back down, and 2 steps and back down. These are simple things that you can start doing. Now, how do you stay motivated with that? How do you actually do these kind of things when you're used to sitting on your ass? Sure, it's easy for me to sit here and say, hey, just do it. But I'm an achievement guy. I want to see the little badges pop up. So I tied it around video games early. And what I said was, if I was playing World of Warcraft or EverQuest or one of my favorite, MMOs, every time I died, it was 10 push-ups. If I was playing Hearthstone, every time I lost a match, it was 10 push-ups. Every time I made a misplay, it was 5 push-ups. And I would tally it up. And at the end of the game, I had to do them, right? Now, some people are like, well, I'll just tally it up and do it all at the end. No. See, because part of the whole situation that we have to get into and the mindset that we have to wrap our heads around is dedication, okay? You can't just sit there and make tally marks. You can't just sit here and say, I'm going to do something. Because if you do that, it's going to be the exact same thing that you've always ran yourself into. You're not going to do it, right? Start small. If you start big, if your thing is, I'm going to get in shape, so I'm going to sign up for a gym and I'm going to go every single day. It's unrealistic. You're not going to do it. Okay? You're going to go to the gym the first time when you sign up. You're going to have your workout clothes and you're going to go and you're going to work out and say, this was a miserable experience. I'm sweaty. I'm nasty. I'm out of breath. I feel like shit. I'm never coming back. And you've just now not only wasted your time, but more importantly, you've wasted your finances and you've accomplished nothing. Nothing. You're not going to get where you want to be. And you're just going to keep spiraling in the same path, right? And it's the definition of insanity, doing the exact same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So for me, tying it around video games, it worked, right? And now, exercising at home doesn't have to be push-ups or stair climbs or whatever I did. Sweep the floor, right? All of our houses, we can agree, probably need a little bit more cleaning than we put into them. Sweep the floor 1 extra time or 2 extra times a week. Mop your floors, right? Hell, throw the mop away and get one of those hand scrubbers and get down on your hands and knees and scrub, right? Or mop with the push mop, the Swiffer or whatever you have, and then add an extra time a week where you're mopping on your hands and knees. Changes things up. It's the concept of more things getting involved, right? Right? If there's something on the floor, don't sit there and leave it on the floor. Bend over, pick it up. These small little things can change your life. Not only will you see a difference in how you feel because you're more physically active, but your house is going to be cleaner. You're probably going to work harder on your video game play because you don't want to do the push-ups. Yes, it's a negative on a negative, right? You died, you're pissed off that you died, you misplayed, whatever, and now you have another negative, right? But it worked for me, because for me, that punishment of having to do push-ups, and yes, it was a punishment early. I will not disagree. I hated losing in video games. I still hate losing in video games. But then on top of the loss, the extra salt thrown on that wound is now I have to do some sort of physical activity that's going to make me feel uncomfortable. But it works. Because, what's this? I can see something in the mirror? What's this? The scale number's changing? Shit, it's working, right? But that's only part of it, right? You can go to the gym, if you are a gym rat, like I hope to be and like I used to be when I dropped from 500 into the 300s over the years, you're going to start to fall in love with it. You're going to find exercises and things that you do, and you're going to start to fall in love with it, and you're going to start to really love it because you're going to see those numbers on the scale change, and you're going to see your body change in a positive way that you're trying to get. But that's only part of it, okay? You can spend hours in the gym, never see the scale change, never see your gut get smaller. Why? Because it's what you're eating. And I know that you hear all the time people saying, you got to go on a diet, you got to go on a diet. No. Diets don't work. Diets do not work, okay? Atkins, paleo, keto, counting calories but not macros. They don't fucking work. Diets don't work. What works? Life changes. That works. Why doesn't a diet work? So I'm going to sit here and say, oh, well, today, Davram is going to do a 5-day juice cleanse. I am only going to do this prescribed from a fitness expert, a juice cleanse. That's all I'm drinking, eating, whatever. Sure, I'm going to get all my daily vitamins and nutrients. Sure, I'm going to feel like shit because I'm not eating what I normally do. Yeah, I'm going to lose a lot of weight really quick. But what happens when that juice cleanse is over? You put it all back on. What happens when you're sitting here counting calories and then you stop? You put it all back on. What happens when you do Atkins and you're eating all that meat and drinking that pineapple juice, which is disgusting, by the way? What happens when you stop? You put it all back on. And you're like, well, that didn't fucking work. No, it's not going to work, because you're getting a temporary solution for a long-term problem. And as soon as the temporary effects wear off, you go back to where you were. Now, you may not get to the weight that you were. You may have net lost a few pounds, but you're not going to keep off all that hard work. So it's not about these diets, right? They work in the short term, but not the long term. It's finding a lifestyle change, eating foods that you enjoy and not suffering because you're not eating ice cream or zebra cakes or Twinkies or Pop-Tarts all the time. It's about moderation, portion control, and eating things that you enjoy. You can lose weight eating ice cream. I've done it. You can have your rocky road and still look and feel good. You think all these great bodybuilders out there don't have ice cream? You're fooling yourself. You think all that they eat are little tiny portions of broccoli and chicken all the time? You're fooling yourself. They go out to BW3s and get a big old slathered up pile of wings. They go to Taco Bell and get a really nasty, cheesy gordita crunch. It happens. They have a big tub of ice cream. It happens. The difference is it's moderation. They do it rarely as a treat. And they work out. And it's a lifestyle change. Okay? You have to find the foods you like. If you don't like chicken, don't eat chicken, eat fish. If you don't like fish, don't eat fish, eat pork. If you don't like pork, eat beef. It doesn't matter. Find something you like. If you're a vegetarian, I was a vegetarian for at least a year and a half, okay? still works. If you're a vegan, still works. There are foods out there that have the micronutrients you need. Protein, carbohydrates, fats. There are foods out there that have those things that fit your lifestyle. The difference is, in this sedentary life, we are lazy and we don't go out and seek them. Or we don't think financially and we go and we're like, well, I could get that box of zebra cakes, which is $1.50, or I can buy that healthy food that's like $5.75. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna get the fucking box of zebra cakes. One, they taste delicious, and two, it's cheaper on my wallet. Budget, right? If you're going for portion control, guess what? Budget control. Instead of the box of zebra cakes, get the health food and portion it out and make it last. You don't need to be stuffing your face with plates full of food for meals, okay? They don't have to be full plates. Get smaller plates. Use the saucers instead of the plates. Force yourself by the physical delivery mechanism on your table. You should probably keep at least one hand on the wheel. That would be safe. The delivery mechanism of a plate. Use smaller plates. You can't put a whole bunch of food on the smaller plate. And then secondly, don't make a shit ton of food, right? Don't make enough food that you can go back to the buffet that is your kitchen over and over and over and over and over again. Okay? So it's two parts. One, slowly working yourself into loving workouts, because you will, I promise, you will find something that you love about workouts. There are workouts that you will hate, and that's fine. But you will find some sort of workout that you love. I love lifting. If someone calls me up and says, hey, Davram, hey, Elder, let's go to the gym and lift for 5 hours. Psh, sign me up. Sign me up and catch me outside, because I'm heading to the gym for a couple hours to lift. You tell me, hey, Davram, let's run a marathon. I'm going to look at you and say, fuck you. I hate running. I hate cardio. But I do it, even though I hate it, because it's important. I don't do a lot of it. I probably should do more of it. I'm sure in the comment section below, you guys can give me some advice on some different cardio, because right now what I do is treadmill on super incline, or I go take a little jog or a walk around the park or something like that. Give me some more ideas of cardio, because I fucking hate cardio. All right, so there's the two parts, right? Start small. Sweep your floors more often. Bend over, pick stuff up. Keep the clutter out of your house. Mop. Get on your hands and knees and mop every so often. Start small. Knee push-ups, sit-ups. You're not going to get all the way up. That's fine. Just do a little. Just do what you can. Okay. And then secondly, find the lifestyle that best fits you. Okay. So what am I going to do? What's the lifestyle that I have? So I've done Atkins. I've done paleo. I've done keto. I've been a vegetarian. I've been a vegan. I have to look at when the food that you intake is your fuel through the day. Okay, that's your fuel, right? Your car takes gasoline, that's its fuel, right? You have to find the fuel that works best for you and works best for your body. I've tried calorie counting, okay? It works. Doesn't work for me. And a lot of people are going to say, psh, well, you have to calorie count. No, I just have to make sure that I expend more calories than I take in. Well, how do you know unless you count? Trust me, you know, okay? If you've done this long, you know. Now, if you're just getting started, probably calorie counting on like MyFitnessPal, or even more so what I did, write it down every meal, write down the calories and the macros. Yeah, it's tedious, but guess what? It's going to show you the numbers. At this point, after 5 years, I have a good idea of what I'm eating, because I read the little labels on the back and how many calories I'm taking in. And then I've got these wonderful gadgets like the Apple Watch, which tells me how many calories I'm expending. So I have a good idea, okay? But I can't count calories. That's too much. It makes it more of a job. And when it becomes a job, you're not going to do it because you already have a job. Why do you need two jobs? And it's just some folks unfortunately do need two jobs, but that's not what I'm saying. If you've got a job that's bringing you finances and then you've got another job which is about fitness, and you don't enjoy the second job about fitness because it's work and you're not getting paid for it, that's fine. Completely understand. But start out with the calorie counting so you get a good idea of what you eat in a day, how many calories that is, and then get a Fitbit. Get something that is wearable on your body that you can get a general idea. They're not perfect, but a general idea of how many calories you're burning. Once you get that feel, you don't need to write everything down, and you don't need to scan everything, and you don't need to have that log unless it works for you and you're cool with it. For me, it doesn't work. It turns it into a job, and then I just turn off. I immediately turn off. So do what works for you, but start with the calorie counting because that gets you a baseline. Then you can feel, okay, I can eat this and this exercise burns this, so I can't eat this or something like that. So what am I going to do? So I weighed myself this morning. It wasn't as bad as I thought. It's still pretty bad, but it wasn't as bad as I thought. I was going to be guessing 320, 325 just based on the way I feel, based on my waistline. I'm at 304.8. 304.8. I feel pretty good about that based on my expectations. I don't feel good about it based on my goals and where I want to be and how I'm kind of still saggy and, I got tits, right? Shouldn't have tits. I can make them bounce though. I still have that. So anyways, so 304.8 is our starting point. That is Davram's starting point. Find your starting point. Make that commitment to start and find that starting point. Get on that scale, dust it off if it hasn't been used for a while, and find your starting point. You have to know where you're starting in order to know where you're going, right? You don't just get up in the morning and get in your car and just start driving. No, you have a point you start, your house, and you have a point where you're going. That's a goal, right? It's like everything we do in life. We have a starting point, and now for fitness, there shouldn't be an ending point necessarily, but there should be a point where you're going, a destination. So 304.8 is our community starting point. Where are we going? 250. That's our destination, right? So that is 54.8 pounds is our destination. 54.8. Completely doable since we started 5 years ago at 500 pounds. 54.8 pounds. That's where we want to be, right? If my math is wrong, just blast me in the comments. I'm really bad at math. How are we going to get there? So first off, I just pulled in, which normally when I pull into a parking lot, that's when we stop. But I have a few more things I want to go over just quickly. And I promise you, when we start doing the episodes starting tomorrow, there's going to be fitness talk, but it's not all going to be fitness. We're going to rant about things like the fucking attorney general who lied under oath while taking the oath of office. Lied. Dumbass. Okay? I don't have a political party, so I'm going to bash both sides. Just just be real about it. But lying as you take the oath, fuck you, dude. Just resign. Get out now. Let's find someone else. We'll talk about that tomorrow. We'll also talk about video games. NVIDIA releasing the 1080 Ti over the next couple days. It's just going to be a fun blog for us all. So back to what I was talking about. What am I going to do? So I've done paleo and all these different diets to try to find what works for me. I feel like shit. And then I came across this thing called keto, right? Ketosis is what it's based around. And the concept is completely changing how your body works when it burns calories. And by completely changing, I mean what it does is it changes you from burning carbohydrates as energy to burning fat. I feel great. I just want to say, I don't look great, right? Because I haven't been doing the second part, which is exercising. And I haven't really, since the holidays, been doing the first part, which is eating right. But when I eat keto, it's not a food, it's a, lifestyle. I feel great. I have energy. I'm awake. I'm alert. Okay. For some reason in my body, and I'm sure I could go to the doctor and figure it out. I'm sure there's something in my physiology that causes this. But when I eat carbohydrates, specifically sugars. So diabetes runs in my family, so this is why I kind of got on this early. When I eat carbohydrates like a donut, I feel like trash. My stomach is upset. I feel groggy. I feel tired. So when I eat a lot of sugars, even fruit, right? Fruit is good, but I don't eat a lot of it because it has sugar in it. People are like, oh, Devram, there's good sugars and then there's bad sugars. That's kind of correct, but sugar is still sugar, right? If you eat a whole bunch, like, ask a diabetic. I'm sure everyone out there knows a diabetic or can talk to one. Ask them if they're allowed to eat all the fruit they want. Everyone's like, oh, fruits and vegetables, they're amazing. Ask a diabetic. My dad's a diabetic. He cannot eat a lot of fruit. He might have one piece of fruit a day, and that's it. That's it. He can't have any more. It's bad for him, right? Sugar is still sugar. Good, bad, and different, it's still sugar, and it still does the same thing. For me, eating sugar makes me feel like garbage. So you're like, well, Devram, why are you drinking a Monster Energy drink? That's really bad for you. Yes, it is. And I've got other things that I'm going to be working on too during our segment, our series. One thing is going to be cutting back on soda. I stopped drinking soda for a long time, and now I've gotten back into it, and I need to stop because soda, even diet soda, it keeps the weight on. This, bad for you, bad for your heart, bad for that stuff. But I got back into energy drinks, and now I have to work my way off. You can't just cut things cold turkey, right? You can't. And I'll tell you why you can't. Because 3 years ago, I stopped doing this stuff. These things. I stopped it completely. Cold turkey. Guess what I'm doing now? These things. Why? Because a little stress popped up in my life. I got out of the gym. I started to eat unhealthy and I felt like shit. So I'm like, well, what do I do? Well, when I smoke, I feel great. When I drink an energy drink and soda, I feel great. What happens? Results go back. I was down to 280. I was 30 pounds away from my goal about 6 months ago. Now I'm back to 304.8. Why? Just what we talked about. We had a temporary fix for a long-term problem. We stopped our temporary solution. Everything came back. Smoking, energy drinks, soda, donuts. I fucking had a chocolate bar yesterday. I had this Polish donut thing that I personally didn't like, but I fucking ate it anyways. And it was huge and custard filled and covered in sugar. And I felt like garbage. And you have to sit back and think, why did you just do that? Why? Why'd you just have that Twix bar? Why'd you just have that donut? Why'd you just have that nasty Polish thing? Huh? At the time, it seemed right. Self-control is another part of it. And it takes time to win that over. Now, there's a lot of people in the parking lot wondering what the fuck I'm doing talking to myself. But that's fine. That's fine. So we're doing keto because that makes me feel great. I have a lot of energy. So what does that mean? What does it look like? So first off, we can't go overboard in our calories, okay? We can't just forget our calories. These diets that say eat as much of this as you want, they're lying to you. Again, temporary solution for a long-term problem. You can't eat everything you want, okay? Portion control, moderation. Keto is very interesting as the macros for keto are fats, proteins, carbohydrates. So I'm going to be looking at about a 60, 30, 10. So 60% of my diet is going to be fats. We're avoiding the saturated fats because that's really bad, and trans fats. We're focusing on fat. At 60% of our diet is going to be fat. That seems weird, but I'm telling you, we have to have that energy burn because we don't have carbohydrates anymore. 30% protein. I want to get muscle. I want to put muscle on. What's the nice thing about fat and protein? Meat, steak, ribs, pork chops, and chicken. Protein, fats, it's in it. Yep. And then 10% carbohydrates, right? So what does that mean? No bread. I haven't eaten bread for a while. No cookies, no pastries, all that fun stuff. Potatoes, sweet potatoes, you're gone. And I love that stuff. But see, these are the sacrifices that we have to make if we want to get to our goals. And more so, understanding your body is important, like we just talked about. I eat carbohydrates, I feel like shit. Let's get rid of them so I feel better. And so therefore I continue what I'm doing. When you feel like shit, you're less likely to do things. If you're sick, do you like to get out of bed and do things? No. If you feel like shit, you're not going to do things. So we're not going to feel like shit. We're going to eat what makes us feel good. And yes, that means sacrifice. So step one, tomorrow we're going to the gym for episode 1. I'm not going to be recording anything in the gym at this point because I don't have the equipment. But down the road, we are going to do some recording of workouts. And in fact, I actually got some requests from people. In order to work out with them and actually record it and put it up. So I had one request of someone who wants to teach me CrossFit, right? I already vape. I'm already a vape douche, right? So adding CrossFit douche to me, probably not a good idea. That's way too much douche, right? But I took her up on the offer. I'm going to do an episode once I get some equipment where I'm going to go to her gym and she's going to teach me CrossFit stuff. And it's going to be fucking hilarious because I already know what CrossFit's all about. There's a CrossFit section of my gym and this fat ass is going to have a lot of hard time. So it's going to be hilarious. There's probably going to be a lot of cursing and me just wanting to die. But we're going to do it because it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. It's going to be part of exercising. Another person asked me to stream live workouts. Unfortunately, I can't do that right now because one, I don't have equipment at my house. I actually work out at a gym and it's a 24-hour gym. So they can't just shut down the gym so I can stream and streaming during their actual workouts. They got a lot of music playing, so you got copyright issues and stuff like that. But down the road, we may figure out a way to stream some workouts. Maybe I can show you some of the home stuff that I've done. Maybe. So that's where we're going. Where are we starting? Here's where we're starting. Cigarettes, Monster Energy, soda, donuts and nastiness, and 304.8 pounds. Where are we going? Cigarettes, gone. This, I can't throw because it's going to go over all over my car and I don't want that. This, gone. Soda, gone. Donuts, carbohydrates, nastiness, gone. Workout start. Okay. Destination. First destination on the map. 250 pounds. Now, this stuff is not going to stop overnight. Okay, we're going to work off this because last time we cut cold turkey, look where we're at. We're still here. So we're going to work off this stuff. One, it saves you financially because you're not buying this shit. And two, you feel better and you're healthier. So we're going to work this stuff off. And I'm going to show you every step of the way. Every morning we talk about it. We're going to talk about this stuff. And I'm going to pull back the books. I had a pack of cigarettes today. Today I had one. That kind of stuff. We're going to talk about it and we're going to work through it. And I expect everyone to put comments in the area below. I need help too. I want you guys, especially, I'm assuming I saw a lot of people subscribe to the YouTube channel, which thank you very much, by the way. I appreciate that. That were fitness people. I want your suggestions. I want your comments. I want to have a discussion about what I'm doing and what you're doing. I've never had a personal trainer. Everything that I've accomplished is based on my own research and my own doing. So I invite you, please, please, please comment. Tell me what you think. I really hope you enjoy the venture. Again, I apologize. This one was a little long, 30 plus minutes. I hope you watched it all. If not, I can understand. The rest of the episodes should be shorter, probably like 10 to 15 minutes, so they should be easier to get through. But I appreciate your guys' time today. I appreciate the fun. I really enjoy talking to you. I really enjoy a community we're building both on Twitch TV/Davrim Gaming and here on YouTube, Davrim Gaming. And I'm excited to see where we're going to go, right? I'm going on a cruise in December, and my goal, our destination, is when I leave that morning to drive to Baltimore, Maryland to get on that cruise ship, that I've at least got to, if not surpassed, 250 pounds. Because I want to be able to go to a beach and take my shirt off and not feel like one of the whales that are swimming around in the water. So, from my world here at Davrim Gaming Corps to your world there at home or wherever you're watching, thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you again for all the love and support. Tomorrow begins episode 1 of Geek Bod to Beach Bod. Hope you tune in. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Bye.